Hello friends, hello. My name is Janessa Oriel and I am the Director of Field Enablement and Community, and I am here in my favorite place at my favorite time. It is Tuesday, it is 11 a.m. Pacific, which is where I am streaming from, and I am elated to be able to be here with you. I am excited today. I know that we previously discussed how we were going to get the custom lists set up, right? That was last week. We talked about custom lists. It's down. If you were to go to your daily, as I am currently here, you can actually see we created that list last week. That list lasts for a very long period of time. The goal is to be able to have a list run for a long period of time. If you missed it, please feel free to catch it. We are on Facebook, right here in Penny Place, or on YouTube as well. So, but this week I promised to go ahead and dive into content, how to add content, how to utilize content for the list. So let's go ahead and discuss that. I am going to make sure that I can see any comments that are coming through. So if you're joining in live, please feel free to drop any questions or comments down below. I'd love to see people tuning in live. If you're here for the replay, you can do the same. I also enjoy seeing those comments as well. Lastly, before I dive into all the good stuff, if any of this resonates for you, if you learned anything and you think that your team would benefit from it as well, strongly encourage you to share this video with your team so that way they can dive in and utilize it as well. Hi, Marcia. I hope I'm saying your name properly. With a name like Janessa, my name is butchered often. So please make sure that you correct me if I said it wrong, but I'm excited that you're here. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to dive into content. First, I'm going to show you content. You can see it down here at the bottom. It says content down there. There's a couple ways to add content. One is you can just go down there, and then the plus to the right of the search bar. I want to highlight the search bar because it's tremendously helpful. That search bar means if you're very smart with your naming conventions, right? The way when you're adding content, if you're smart and remember to name it something that you'll be able to find again, you can go ahead and search for it. So if you are one of those people that does not go through and cull or delete anything that is no longer relevant, that's totally okay. You can always search for it. If you're someone who likes to go through and remove anything that is no longer relevant, that's awesome. This will also be good for you. We provide, if your company is partnered with Penny, chances are you may not be watching this, but just in case you are, there's corporate content that is provided for you if your company has a partnership with Penny. Additionally, below that, there's all my content. And as my dear friend and cohort Roxanne will allude to, this is like Netflix. It goes up and down, and then you can also scroll left to right like Netflix. So very similar. And then you have the ability to look at favorite content. You can see I really don't have a ton in here yet, but that's okay. Maybe you don't either. That's why we're doing this training. So you can see there's different categories, okay? So for example, I created a category that says it's been forever. And so this particular piece of content is there. Again, up and down, left to right. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and hit plus. So we're going to add a piece of content. Now, I love this. Let's add a category. We're going to do, this category is going to be something along the line of spring trends. You don't have to create a category. I just am in this example because I want to demonstrate anything that we can. Then I'm going to go ahead and tap on create. Now that new trends category has been created. I'm going to go back up and I'm going to add new content. So add content, lower right hand corner down here on your phone. When I do this, you can add whatever you want. I love this. This is so exciting. There's so much flexibility to the content creation here in Penny. So I can upload an image. I can also add a link, I can also add a video, and I can also add a PDF, okay? So I am going to demonstrate, first we're going to, can you see that I'm like, do I wanna add a link? I'm gonna add a link. I have one queued up. I am going to paste the link here. I'm happy it's still there. This is our social selling trends report. I brought this up in the community, and if you haven't yet read it, it's actually, I think it's engaging and intriguing, and I think that there are some great learnings there. So I'm going to utilize a link here, okay? So I'm going to tap done there, and then there's this next step down here, okay? You can always go back if you wanted to. If you're like, that's not the link I wanted, you can always go back. You can always edit it. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and next. Now, you're going to need to create a name for it. So this is going to be social selling link. Okay. And then you want to tie any piece of content that you create to a task type. What does that mean, Janessa? Well, we've chatted about the selling cycle, right? The customer care cycle. We want to make sure that whenever we add content, we're going to tell us when to deliver that content or suggest it. So anytime I reach out or follow up, or if there's an order reminder or a check-in or a personal check-in or a connect, okay? These are all different ways that we are reaching out to our customers or clients, right? So you want to select one of these. Now, I also want to let you know, it just means it's going to serve it up as a suggestion. It doesn't mean that because you selected it for a follow-up that you don't have the ability to share it during a personal check-in. You can always search. Again, the search functionality in the content is really helpful. So if you ever get something that is suggested that you would not want to send at that point in time, you can always search for a different piece of content. So I'm going to go ahead and select this one for a personal check-in, okay? And then you're going to enter your script. So this is what you want it to say. I want to share a couple things. One, you can use the text to speak. Speech to text function here, and I will use that in just a moment. But I'm also going to share with you if you insert into the script a first name or a last name. So if you wanted to use first and last name, you can do that. Penny is going to be really smart and automatically enter that for you. So that way you don't have to go through and personalize with the first name when this content is delivered to you to share out. Okay. So I'm going to first start with hi. And then space, and I'm going to select first name, and I'm going to do an exclamation point. Then I'm going to space, I'm going to use the text to speak. I wanted to share this with you. Oh, it's not doing it. Oh, it is doing it. Look at it, live. How fun. I wanted to share this report with you. I would love to get your feedback. Please let me know if you were able to learn anything from it, and tie back. Bye. I get extra weird on this. Anybody else? Maybe it's just me, all right? But that's okay. It's all here. Now I can get rid of the weird, right? So I'm going to get rid of this part, right? So don't mind me as I'm just going ahead and getting rid of the part that is where I was being weird. I don't think I'm the only one that's weird. Maybe I am, and I'm okay with it. I want to share this report with you. I would love to get your feedback. I'm going to put a little dashy here. Please let me know if you were able to learn anything from it. So, don't mind me as I type. And I'm going to add an emoji. Like that. Done. So this is what I want it to say. Okay, make it sound like you. It should sound like you. Sometimes the text to speech, the speech to text will make this or allow this to sound a little bit more like you. And then you can scroll down. There's other things here. If you wanted to add it to a category, we just created that category. I'm going to select, oh, it's creating a new category. That's not what I wanted. Close that part. Cancel. There's my options. Spring trends. There it is. Drop down right here, friends. And then I'm going to hit save, right? If you do the work, make sure you save it. Okay. Now that it's saved, you can see it's currently under, it's the first thing listed as all my content. If I really like this and want to share it out, I can always heart it. Okay. So I can open it. You can share it directly from here. You can view it. You can categorize it, all these things. Okay. The other thing, I just shared a link, and you can see that link is showing a preview. Let me just go ahead and view it. So this is a preview of what's on that website link. Okay. Additionally, we can close there. Oh, I want to actually go back there, view it again. You can actually see at the top once it's been created. Guys, this is so cool. You can see the details, like what it will look like, okay, when you send it, but also where has it been shared on? Currently nowhere, right? But you can see when you've shared it. My favorite part is, especially for links, right? You can see when someone clicks on it, Okay. It's important when you share a link, it's going to show a preview of whatever link you have, right? That image is pulled from the website that you're sharing, or that link that you're sharing. And then when they click it to open it, it's going to tell you how that's going for you. I think it's incredible. And then it's available in all. So what I wanted to share is if you share an image, it's actually going to create a link just with that image, and it does the same thing. So let's go ahead. I'm going to check for comments really quick and see how things are going. We're doing okay over here on comments. And now I'm just going to go back and we're going to create one more piece of content. So for example, we're going to add content, and now I'm going to I'm going to upload an image. I'm going to tap, we're going to pull it from the library. Let's go ahead and upload this one. Let's say, so this is the image. It's important to note that when I share this, okay, maybe I'm going to say prospect. This is exactly what was suggested to me, right? Prospect script. It appears my phone just went away. Hang on. It's here. It just paused. You can see, I can actually see I'm just waiting to share it again. It got mad. Okay. Let's see. Here it is. Okay. So back to here. Prospect script. Okay. And then task type, I'm going to do a connect. Okay. And then again, would love to have you. Have you ever? So I can't type and talk at the same time. One thing that I strongly encourage, anytime you create a script, ask a question, because people want to share things back with you. And oftentimes, if you're just sending a link or you're just sending something and there's not a question, people won't get back to you because they think it's like a mass text situation. You want to ask a question, and an engaging question, something that's asking about them, because you want to be able to get feedback back. You want them to be able to re-engage with you. The beauty of Penny is everything is a one-on-one communication. It means that you're going to have the opportunity to connect and engage with people in a one-on-one basis, be a real person, right? So you want to go ahead and make sure that you're not just pushing information, but you're genuinely looking for that tennis match of a conversation back and forth, okay? So I almost always include a question when creating a script, because you want to give something to someone to reply to, right? So I'm just asking, I'm being very forward, and I'm saying, would love to have you jump on this rocket ship with me, alluding to this image that we have down here. Have you ever considered joining my team? It's an aggressive script, but you know what? Sometimes. Especially if you've had conversations or if they're really excited about your products, it's okay to be, and then I'm going to actually include their name, comma, first name, exclamation point, and space. All right. So from here, then we want to add a category, and again, cancel, because again, I didn't do the drop down thing, right? So if it doesn't work the way you expect, just try scrolling down a little bit more. Maybe it's just me. Maybe. It's been forever. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. All right. So I mentioned when we were talking about lists, okay, in the daily, we were talking about lists. I was saying I'm going to share with you how to create content. Again, it can include a picture. It can include a link. It can include a PDF. And there's one more thing that we will take a peek at really quickly because I forgot it. Last one is link a video. You can also include a video. You could take a video, right, and just say, "Hey, I just wanted to I just wanted to connect with you and see how you're doing." And then you can literally do that as one of your connects, right? By adding a video, they have to click on it to view it. Something to note. Let's close that back out. Back to the daily. Back to the new catalog spring. This is my list. We're going to go ahead and reach out to Ted here. I'm going to grab content, and I'm going to see how this is that social selling link right there. Maybe that's what I wanted to send out. You can always search. Now it automatically has Ted's name in there. It automatically has everything ready to go. And then I can go ahead and share content. Now I can reach out to Ted in all of these ways that are not blurred out. Currently, I don't have a phone number. I don't have Facebook Messenger. If you add any of that to Ted's profile, then you'll have the ability to reach out that way. I'm going to go ahead and pop over to the Instagram, and it's going to go ahead and open up Instagram, and then I can paste it there. Okay. I don't actually believe I have Instagram loaded on here, that's why it didn't open, but you would, right? And so then you would be able to paste and go from there. So once you reach out to someone, once you paste that message out to them, you can go ahead and come back here and hit complete. When you hit complete, as always, Penny never lets anyone fall through the cracks. So we're going to ask you when you want to schedule a follow-up from this particular conversation. You can say not interested in campaign and it'll like wipe it away. I want to actually reach out next week to Ted and schedule that. It'll pop up within the daily. I can say he's loving the trends report, right? There we go, done. Add that note, attach the note to the follow-up, and then do you want to add any tags? And you can if you want to, you don't have to. Select next. Now you can see for those task takers, those that like to keep track, I've reached out to one, right? Now, the goal is to be able to reach out to these. Again, it's a one-on-one, but it's in a consistent way and you're working your way through that list. I'm going to go ahead and close that and we're good to go. If you have additional questions on this, I am happy to answer those questions. I would love to be able to review those questions next week. But this is a great way. We've already created that list. Now we've created the content, and then we'll go ahead next week. I'm going to wait and see what the questions come through. But also I want to highlight how when you're sharing content out, what you can do once you look at that content, as mentioned here, you can view it, and then you can see where it's been shared, and then I'll dive into those trends. So as you're working your way through your list, especially again, the beginning of, we're still in the beginning of, we're midway through January. Guys, we're midway through January. As you're working your way through your list for this month and maybe even next month, you can start to dive back into these trends and see what is hitting or what's relevant for your customers or clients. So I hope this is helpful. Again, if it is, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in the very near future. Bye, friends.